How you doing, everybody? My, for some reason, my computer, when I hit the live button, it goes zzz, waiting. So I restarted it. Anyway, uh, how's everybody doing today? Neff and John and Javi and let's see. Hi, Louie, Big Sal, Thomas. Hi, Thomas. Okie doke. Hi, Flippin' Zippo. This uh what I want to talk about today is the rancher. How you doing, man? Um i- i- there was a video that I watched. Forgot to I put it up there. It was there was this guy, it was one of the watch video things, and he was talking about, I guess, a guy named Tom Ford, who is a sort of a fashion, I guess he's a person that talks about what fashion to wear and so forth. And he had this thing on what watch to wear with this, that, and the other thing. And so I thought, well, this guy, the thing that oh, I forgot the name of the guy who had it. It's really really well done. And the what he's trying to think of the guy's name. Anyway, I really enjoyed the guy's comments about what Tom Ford had said. But one of the most important things I think that he said, other than the fact that this guy was full of hot air when it came to what watches to wear, was that um, the guy had all of these little snippy remarks about people who didn't follow his fashion advice. And so to me, that guy was sort of went to the top of the jerk pile as far as I was concerned. Tom Ford did. The guy who was talking about it was wonderful. You're gonna get. He was like, "What?" Anyway, so I saw that. I was thinking about those things, and so I I thought, well, yeah, I guess certain watches do go with certain things and so forth. Uh, During the last 2 years during the pandemic, I've been stuck at home, and so everything goes with at home, home alone. Um, and so then I thinking about, when I go to a conference or something like that, a watch show, and everybody's showing off their best watches. Um, Other than that, I don't think about it a whole lot, but what I did think, hey, maybe different watches have different personalities. I've got on my Culpa, my Parmigiani Culpa, Tonda Culpa, what was it? I guess, yeah, Culpa Grande. That's it, Culpa Extra Grande, big watch. Um, this watch, I've always felt, if someone said, "Does that have a personality?" Sure, it does. I mean, it's like it's big, it's blue, robin egg blue, not like midnight blue or something like that. And there's something about it that strikes me as having a very optimistic personality. I mean, this watch just like, here I am, know, here I am, take it or leave it. I'm having fun. That was is sort of the attitude I think of this particular watch, and other ones are more sober, more serious, or or more like, hey, let's go out and do something. When I put on my Parmigiani hemispheres, it's like, come on, we got to go on a trip somewhere. I got these two time zones and all of this other stuff. You're still sitting at home. So that's another. They see you have different, kinds of things. So what I thought we could talk about, and you guys get to do the talking. Um, what are what watches do you have, if any, uh, that have certain kinds of saying, well, this watch has got a personality of such and such. I don't know if I have any with that are, you know, pessimistic or droll. Well, droll maybe. But yeah, I thought, well, maybe old Tom Ford has got a point. Is that if you have different ones you wear with different occasions, maybe they have different personalities. So I thought that'd be a fun thing to kick around. Hey, Orange Han and Lee, how are things in Frackin' Gulch? Lee, Canadian Watch Monkey, how you doing? Um, oh boy, um, so making you think of nighttime at the Waltons. What did Abdul say? Okay, yeah. Oh, um, okie doke. So let's see, Abdul. See, I tended to have a one watch per day watch rotation. That's generally what I have too. Sometimes I'll get all, with when I get like a new band or something for a watch, I'll wear it more than, once a week. But yeah, I generally rotate and you know, sort of doesn't matter. Um ab, let's see. Ah, you got a mood for your watches. Okay. That makes sense. Let's see. Canadian, I go with a big. Okay, you like the big ones, Watch Monkey, that are 45 millimeters. Okay, what are they? Paul Bunyan or something? Big watch. Um, I've got mostly vintage, so my watches have ghosts, not personalities. Whoo, whoa! I got one like that. My Monoretrapont, my Beauvais Monoretrapont from sometime, I guess, in the late 30s, early 40s. Um, yeah, no, I got that thing does have that kind of thing to it. Hey, Junior, how you doing, man? Hey, Tuna. Uh, wearing my torch ones. It's been cold here. Yeah, boy, I tell you, yeah, here too. Yeah, I know that Oklahoma got iced over. We've got about here. We had about a half a foot of snow. I don't know. It was like 11 degrees or something when I got up this morning. So it's cold here too. It was 60 degrees the other day. That's what's so crazy about it. Um, just goes to show, do you own John, I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, um, I'm not one to talk about being especially during the pandemic. I think I've been wearing the same same comfy lounging pants for 2 years now. Um, and they're comfortable. Comfortable is sort of the style I've been going for. And gone through different styles in terms of the periods. My wife took all of my old bell-bottom trousers out from the 70s and threw them all out. I thought, man, they're coming back and we'll miss them. Hey, Tim, Watch Gang. There you go. Letting the dogs out, huh? I tend not to wear any vintage watches on vacation in the summer or in what are extra cold days. Yeah, I like I said, I don't have I got like one vintage watch, I think, and that's my Monoretra Pont. But otherwise, I don't have vintage. And I spend a lot of time at home. The except when when we go on a trip somewhere, and boy, I tell you, I'm ready for a cruise. But God, you get on a cruise ship these days, you might as well jump into a petri dish. So I'm stuck on it. We're stuck for a while. Um, I like Hugo Jacome for satirical advice. I'm not sure who Hugo is, but I will find out. My wife hasn't taken my trousers off in in a month. Yeah, I just got. What are you gonna do? It's this is why it's so. What I found most pretentious wasn't the fact that this guy had some advice. I mean, like it's sort of like if I had something like a Patek Philippe uh, Aquanaut or a Nautilus, I wouldn't go diving in that thing. I mean, I just wouldn't. I mean, I don't go diving anyway. I wouldn't even go snorkeling in it. But so some watches, I guess, are for show. I went on this one cruise I was on. This guy, the entire cruise, he had this gorgeous Nautilus, just beautiful. And the only time I saw it, he was holding up his phone the entire trip. He had his phone looking at his stocks or something like that. Didn't engage in conversation at all. And I would, hey, let's talk about watches. And of course, everybody headed for their cabins when they saw me coming with that kind of, like, hey, Junior Jr., how you doing? Let's see, Tony. Hi, Tony. Uh, Cruise ship equal COVID capsule. Yeah, Tim, exactly. That's what we're not going near them. Um, even I think is one thing we like to do is you know drive down to New Haven and hop on Metro North and go into the city. And when I go into New York, depending on what I'm doing, if it's just to see the kids or something like that, it's one thing. And I just wear something that is like this. This is a good one to wear. Like it, people see that as sort of a big ugly watch or blue. Who wants blue? Uh, to me, it's like you're missing the point. I take my Casio twin sensor with me to the sauna. See a couple guys with subs, and even one or two with GMT, one or two lone GMT. Definitely wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't think. Well, first of all, I wouldn't go to a sauna. I have a fear of harpoons. That's one thing. But I don't know. To be fair, maybe his family sucked. What was that? Okay. Um, okay, let's see. Strapped on my G-Shock to slide down the driveway. Yeah, that would be a good one for it. I, in terms of rough and tumble stuff, this is about it. Oh, actually, I got my not my G-Shock, but Easy Diver. That Easy Diver, man, I tell you, that thing would hold up well in a bar fight. It's got this rubber strap and it's got this big, massive uh, dial on it. Like, that kind of watch. That kind of watch. So it also has this wonderful Roger Dubuis movement in it. And that watch, I still haven't gotten the band adjusted yet. I got its I don't know what younger or older brother the sympathy, and it has the same movement, and it's just another big great watch. I love those two, and therefore I don't know. This is the kind of thing. I guess it'd be more of a rough and tumble. Both of them would be. And so if you look at in terms of a personality, the one that in terms of uh, trying to show off, okay, because we all want to, a good watch. You don't want to show up to a watch group with a Rolex or something. You want to wear your really top watches. Okay, what are you guys doing? Hey, Maynard, how are you? Um, Hi, Gilberto. Good to see you. All right, so what's going on here? To be fair, maybe his family sucked. I don't know whose family's that, Rancher. Everybody's got a family that's got some interesting aspects to it. He's a little early for Easter, don't you think? Rancher, be careful there. Like the Moser Pioneer, but too big at 43 millimeters. Uh, what I like, the new Mosers, I really like. I like the Streamline. I like the Heritage. The Heritage style, that's a cool style. Uh, the one I made, I made one with sort of that fawn on it and so forth. But let's talk about about personalities. Those earlier Roger Dubuis, yeah, me too. They're great watches. The ones from the early 2000s, when Roger Dubuis was still working on them. You know, one of my favorite was I had it on this on Friday's video was this the Perpetual Calendar by Van Cleef and Arpels. Now Van Cleef and Arpels represents man, uh this stuff is super expensive, but they don't have a lot of watches. They're in fact, they're, Pierre Arpels, Monsieur Arpels, I think as it's called, um, is sort of a very I don't know what you'd call it, almost I don't wanna use the term dainty. It's sort of it's a kind of watch that's got a statement. And the thing I like about it, it's not showy, but it represents this incredibly wealthy sort of jewelry. But the one I really like is is their perpetual calendar with the bi-retrograde that Jean-Marc Viderec and Roger Dubuis did together. Roger Dubuis was really into doing stuff with perpetual calendars when he and Jean-Marc Viderec were both working for Harry Winston. Um, okay, so that has sort of that kind of feel to it, and I'm trying to think of some other kinds of things. Let's see what you guys have. I normally wear the conservative with dial color, white, gray, or black. Yeah, most people are. But stepped out of my comfort zone a few times and found it rather refreshing. You know, that's what I did recently with my Endeavor, my H. Moser Endeavor Center Seconds. I love that watch, but for some reason I just yeah, you know, it was sort of it's a weekly winder watch, great watch, keeps wonderful time, and everything about it I like. But somehow I don't know, it wasn't every time I put it on, it was like, okay, it just but then I put that my new orange band on it, and it really sort of brought it out, you know, like boom. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Um, okay, let's see. Okay, what was less personality? Rolex watches or their owners? I, I don't know. Uh, okay, trying to think. The personality of watching Rolex versus Omega, each one represents social values. Mechanically, both are good. Yeah, if you take Rolex, I don't know, mechanically, I favor Rolex simply because they haven't succumbed to silicon hairsprings. All right, those guys are still doing great things with. They're thinking about solving the problem of magnetism using something other than silicon, and thumbs up to them for that. And but see, that's the way I think about it. Most people don't think of Rolex and Omega that way. They're sort of like, these are, I don't know, medium tier watches that people really like, and that's cool. I have neither, so I'm not going to say anything about them. I tend not to wear bracelet watches when it's snowing, and more rubber and nanos. Yeah, in the summertime. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, I think, like I said, this is my only bracelet watch, and I wear a lot when I go on. I try to get in 5K a day. I'm not going to get it in this kind of weather, but I go for a walk, and you don't want to have a nice gator band or something like that, all sweated up and everything. Canadian Watch Monkey. I'm all over the place. Yeah, I think a lot of us are too. Is that like, you know, I think it was Abdul said that you got watches in rotation, and you just sort of going around and around. I just watched James Dowling last interview on video, and he stated that he's into quirky watches. I agree. Yeah, to me, there are different kinds of quirky watches. Silverstein, I guess that's the guy who has those really interesting dials and so forth. Those are pretty interesting. The I it's hard to say what counts as quirky. I mean, there's on one hand you have Urek. Urek remind me of something of the Borg or something like that. Um, I don't know, some watches that represent something, very creative and very fun watches, I think are my favorite. But of course, that was why I think I changed the personality of my H. Moser Endeavor by giving it an orange strap. Yeah, put on a different pair of pants and see what it's like. And it's just a lot more fun. I did the same thing with in two different ways with my FP Journe Chronomet Vein. Now that is one of my very favorite watches and has been almost since the day I got it because there's something about it that I just like, and it's not. I don't know, personality wise, it's there, and it's got some things that make it interesting. One of the most quirky things about it is that FP Journe used the old marine chronograph uh, power reserve indicators. And so instead of starting at 0 and then you wind it up and it goes up to 200 or something, what his are, they start at, let me see, it starts at 0. And as you wind it up, no, wait a minute. Yeah. Uh, when you get it wound up, it's at 0, and then it goes down, and that's the opposite. But that's the way they used to have it on the old sailing ships that had to use chronometer watches or clocks for finding the longitude. I think really interesting stuff. So that's sort of cool. Also, he has his numbers upside down after 3 and before 9. Uh, okay, Abdul, you got 20, 40, 27 watts. Yeah, mine's more or less that way. I have 3 of my Jacquet 736s lined up. They're always I don't know why I do that, but I keep them right here and wind them very frequently. But it's sort of like Manny Moe and Curly, you've got these you know, things lined up. Whimsical, yeah. I used to sleep with my watch. Now I just want to be friends. Christ. Oh, let's see. My Victorinox Swiss Army quartz is successful at being better looking than I've been. Uh, and I know it, and it knows it. Better looking. Okay, I know what you mean. Crap. Let's see what else you guys have. I'm glad to hear that Rancher quit sleeping with his watch. You got to try Tinder. That's okay. Let's see. Hey, Abdul, Rancher, not even friends with benefits. Okay, Tim, I love FP Journe, but their hands look like ducks. Um, ducks? I don't know. There's a style of hand called a baton, and baton hands are on my H. Moser, and those are they that would be the closest they look like ducks. I don't know. They look like it. If you've ever played chemin de fer, where they have and they give you the cards on the big paddle, that's what the baton hands look like. Hey, 4 bits. Was in Naples, Florida last week. Exquisite timepieces. Huge used inventory. Great helpful staff. There are on Chrono 24. You know, uh, they are 4 bits. Thanks. I I think I may have gotten a watch from them online. They were quite hopeful. Hey, too, and I can't for the life of me understand those who wear, their dive watches in the shower. Yeah, yeah. Me I don't know. I don't wear watches in the shower. I even take off my Fitbit, for the shower. A ticker. Yeah, Abdul, I'm pretty much the same way. I put them on in the morning. I decide, you know what I've been doing? You talk about obsessive. The night before, I decide which watch I want to wear, get it all wound up and ready to go. So in the morning, I just slap it on and it's all set. With this one, I have to set the date too, which to me is a big deal because I'm not really much into date watches. That's one reason that I haven't got the triple date by Vacheron Constantin. I love that watch, and they used to have some decent prices on them before the current one. My Breitling nav timer. Uh, Re-editions personality is impractically nostalgic. Yeah, that's something that um I I don't know the watches that I think to me are sort of more nostalgic and the ones and some I like are ones the heritage line of watches that different companies have, like the H. Moser Heritage are some of the big pilots from Zenith have that same kind of thing. The pilot watch from Patek Philippe is another one that has sort of those. I don't know what they're called. It's funny because my Vacheron Constantin Historiques 1921. I don't know why it doesn't seem nostalgic or even vintage style. It just sort of has got like, it was odd then. I think it's odd now, and I sort of like it. It's sort of off whack. Okay, you're just into frying pan time. That reminds me of football, where the ref says, "Okay, turn the clock back 2 minutes." Hey, monkey, what's that? I would wear my Rolls Oyster Perpetual date just tone on Jubilee in the shower and scrub it with soap and water. Oh, yeah. I tell you, I have I there are so many Patek Philippe watches that I like, but any of them after 2009, I'm not interested in simply because they stuck in silicon. I mean, sort of wears, but that's me, and I know that some, well, everyone's putting in silicon. Yeah, that's true. They are. They used to put in quartz, and maybe they'll do it again by the time they're looking for something that's non-magnetic and they don't have to worry about. Who knows? Uh, Lexi Lions chart. Hey, John, lack of blueprint on the market, all used for Tiffany blues, thus no more available ADs. Ah, okay. That's something. I tell you, I suppose that um, the time I spent on finding out about Rolexes is pretty close to zero because and again, I'm not blasting them. I did get a major shock when I saw that they have a new Air King that just is solid blue, and it looks nice. But the Air King I liked is that the one that does have personality, as far as I'm concerned, is the one that has the what's it called the Bloodhound, the Bloodhound dial that's based on the dial that Rolex did for that ground racer. Now that's got personality to me. You take a Air King and you paint it blue, it doesn't do much for me. Um, Yeah, Abdul, you're right about that. I agree. Okay, it is frying pan time. Okay, I got another minute because I was late. Actually, I was on time, and what happened was that something went weird with my, either my I guess it's my browser because I got pretty good connections and stuff. Bill and Silicon remind me of how I felt about silicon and women. Oh, Big Sal, you've got to put an E on the end of that silicon. Okay, guys, listen, hey, hey, Maynard, how are you? Uh, Cuervo y Sobrinos claim a Latin heritage and style. Some pretty that is a brand. They have some of the most interesting dials. They're very creative. Cuervo y Sobrino. Um, anyway, okay, guys. Well, listen. Thank you for if you're up early. I know in Europe you're not, but 4 o'clock New York time today. I want to talk about something that is that if watches, what kind of personalities have certain kinds of watches. We can talk about that at 4. Take care, be safe still, and hope to see you later.